It's the 2017 SMABFA Awards episode on Stinker Madness. Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Stinker Madness. I'm your host, Justin. With me, as always, are Sam and Jackie. Hello and good SMABFAs to you.
Good SMABFAs to you.
Thanks, Justin. I'm standing here in my sequin gown, ready to report on the fabulousness of the two bears that are dancing in the studio.
Right, our tiny bears are fighting. Our corgis are at it again. I do appreciate that you did show up in a sequin dress for this. That's very nice. However, I am comfortable in my bathrobe and pajamas. That's how I roll at the SMABFAs.
And to report back on the tiny bears fighting, even though they're fighting each other, the Empire has in fact lost again.
Mm-hmm. And the tiny bears are now eating the stormtroopers.
They're eating them.
They have cooked them in their own helmets.
Seem to be they're just handing out the helmets like soup bowls.
and drums, bongos too.
Oh, yeah. That's after you get done, right?
Multiple purpose. Your bowl becomes a musical instrument when you're done eating human people. Clones. I mean, they're not really people, right? You know.
I don't know.
Yeah. This is the SMABFA Awards, the 2017 SMABFA Awards. This is one of our biggest episodes that we do each year. It is the awards for major cinema for being shitty. We go through, watch an assload of 2017 movies, or that year's movies, that were released in theater. That has to be one of the stipulations. No video on demand, no limited release, no film festival shit, nothing like that. Has to be major movie theater releases nationwide. And one of the other qualifiers is that it doesn't have to, but every single movie that has a 20% or lower on Rotten Tomatoes qualifies as a SMABFA contender.
Yeah, the under 20s have to be watched.
Right. And I don't think we got above 20 on anything this year. We came close.
There were a lot of really crappers out there.
This is one of the worst. Now, I want to put a disclaimer on this before I say it. Actually, I'll disclaim it afterwards. But this has been one of the worst years in recent memory for Hollywood, the Hollywood blockbuster. Now, Jackie and I are going to go to the Regal Cinemas Best Picture Festival here in about 2 weeks. So we'll see all the Best Picture nominations, and we have only seen Get Out. But so that's like the only qualifier that we have of decent filmmaking this year, and I wasn't that impressed with Get Out. But as far as bad cinema, there was a lot of bad movies. We had 18 nominees this year.
That seems really high comparatively.
Usually we have about 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there.
I thought it's always been between 15 and 20. There was one year that we had 20, but we reached up high for a couple of them.
Yeah. We grabbed things like Need for Speed, I think, on our first year, and just loosey-goosey a little bit.
We reached up for Hercules one year, even though it probably shouldn't have been in there.
Right, yeah.
But that movie was so awesome.
It was, but at the same time, it should have been in there. Just didn't win anything.
Then we go through and make our nominees for each of the 6 categories. And it's a pool chosen between the 3 of us here in the studio and our good supporter of the show, Martini Shark, But he was drunk. He was totally wasted the entire time we were watching these.
That's what I think. That's why he voted the way he did.
Right.
We also those drinking sharks.
We also did fan voting this year, so they don't qualify as part of the awards, the official awards, but we will say, hey, the fan pick was X. So, anything else to add before we get going here, guys?
If you would like to offer me a part in your movie, and not a dirty movie, I would be more than willing. I think I can do better than some of these ones.
Huh. Okay. Let's get going on these awards, shall we? First off, starting with Jackie as presenter, we are going to do the worst bad actor.
And the nominees are Dane DeHaan for Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. Also Ethan Hawke from that movie. Jamie Dornan, 50 Shades Darker. Javier Bardem.
Vladimir Putin.
Putin. I was trying. It's the first time I've ever had like.
Hey, that's his
Not
name,
bad,
Jackie.
right?
That is
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Also from that film, John Depp,
Yeah, of course.
Jim Sturgis from Geostorm, Matt Damon from The Great Wall, Tom Cruise, The Mummy, Val Kilmer, The Snowman, Vin Diesel, Triple X, Return of Xander Cage.
Xander.
Is that not his name?
Xander.
Xander Cage. Sorry. And Will Smith for Collateral Beauty.
Before you tear that open,
Yeah.
we haven't had a year without John Depp just showing up somewhere, has
He's
he?
got to.
He's like, he just lives here.
And we've only had 1 year where Gerard Butler doesn't show up as well. So,
Ah.
All right. Are you guys ready?
yeah. And the winner is.
I can't get my envelope open. Come over here, you little bears. So one of you guys tear into this thing. Oh my God. Tom Cruise, the Mummy.
Tom Cruise, the Mummy!
Let me think. Just let me think.
If anyone is listening, this is L26, urgent, hot. Request dynamic precision strike at our mark.
You did not just call it an airstrike.
Oh, yes, I did. Where are you going? Don't leave me. There's nowhere to go. Oh, man, we're going to die.
Please, man. Let me think.
We're going to die because of you.
Just let me think.
What?
I'm thinking.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we're probably gonna die here.
I knew it.
Yes.
This is worst bad.
This is worst bad actor.
There wasn't any other horse in this race,
There
I don't think.
really was not. Jackie, break down the rest of the list.
So Will Smith and Ethan Hawke got 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then John Depp and Dane DeHaan from Valerian
Right.
both got 7.
Yeah, and what did Tom Cruise end up with?
He ended up with 15.
15 points.
Yes.
Now, I will also declare the fans agreed. Tom Cruise's was the worst bad actor of 2017 for his role in The Mummy. Now, we went and saw The Mummy at the theater. We were going to do a podcast on The Mummy, and when we came back, we said, don't want to even touch it. I do not want to talk about that movie for an hour and a half. Now, Sam, what is your thought on why Tom Cruise was such a shitty actor?
Because we all know you love him.
What? He's not even allowed in my house. He's really figured out how to magnify and multiply the shit that's been pissing us off for years, while at the same time, he's not even acting anymore. He's just telling us how fucking cool he is.
That is correct.
He's like, hey, look at this movie. It's called The Mummy. Is it about the mummy? Not really. It's about me and how I'm fucking cool.
And now I am Odin of the monster universe. All-seeing, all-powerful monster guy. Nope.
Yeah, he wrote himself a blank check to become the movie Hollywood's greatest powered person thing. But beyond that, it was just like everything he was doing acting-wise was like being snarky and irreverent. Cool. So I'm going to
Right.
do that. It was like, yeah, that's how you got here, you dickhead. It was called risky business, and you forgot how to do it.
Yeah, he's like... The Mummy is like a shitty monster movie starring Adam Sandler as Tom Cruise's. Or Tom Cruise's as Adam Sandler, like, I'm going to bring in some zany business here, but also be a total fucking dickbag the whole time. Like, his character sucks.
Yeah.
And then he sucks at sucking. He sucks.
There wasn't anything that he did during the movie that didn't infuriate you.
Right.
And by the end of it, you realize that outside the movie, he has used the film as a vehicle to make himself better than the Marvel Universe or the DC Universe.
Absolutely.
What a dickhead.
Jackie?
I don't know. He's always mailing it in. It's like his plastic surgery has kind of gone wrong somewhere. So he has to really over exaggerate his facial expressions.
Well, he's no spring chicken.
I know, but my God, He's just I don't know. I'm with Sam. It was supposed to be about the Mummy, but it ended up being a cool guy movie. And he just sucks ass. I don't like Tom Cruise.
No, nobody likes Tom Cruise, but that's not a pass for hating him. He really did terrible in The Mummy. Like for instance, I don't like Tom Cruise, but I think like that
He runs pretty good.
That rinse die repeat movie was decent. I enjoyed it. This is shit. Him in The Mummy is not just us going, hey, Scientologist, wife abuser guy, you get an automatic award because you suck as a human being. He sucks as an actor in The Mummy for sure.
Nobody did it better.
Right. Well,
well, if sucking was the bar, you couldn't do it anymore. You couldn't suck more than he sucked.
no, nobody even came close.
Well, and in all of his really dramatic scenes, he was just so flat.
Absolutely.
And it was hard to watch.
Sympathetic, where you couldn't sympathize with his character at all. You had no empathy for him. You just wanted the end of the movie to come so he would shut up.
I just wanted the Mummy to kill him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get on with it.
And then have the mummy itself explode into a firework, and what's left is delicious hot dogs for us to eat. Jackie, who you say Ethan Hawke, and who tied for second?
Will Smith, I believe.
Will Smith.
Will Smith in Collateral Beauty,
Uh-huh.
and Ethan Hawke in Valerian.
Now, I didn't really have that much of a problem with Ethan Hawke. What was your guys' big beef with Ethan Hawke?
He sucked.
Okay,
He
all right.
sucked.
All right.
He was also trying to do the cool guy,
Yeah.
relax, but it was like I'm Jimmy Buffett of the
Good.
Of
Just
space.
good
Yes.
good comparison.
He was Jimmy Buffett of space. That is correct.
Yes. And then he was the NASCAR driver, and he just couldn't decide who he wanted to be.
Right.
The movie didn't need him in it.
Right.
The scene didn't need him in it.
Correct.
But he's friends with Basan, so he shows up and he fucking crapped it up.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, come in for an afternoon and fuck up my movie, buddy. And they probably high-fived each other afterwards because they thought everyone did such a good job.
See, my beef with putting him above Will Smith is you watch Valerian, which is a painfully long movie, and you get him for about 6% of its entire run length. Will Smith doing his I'm a sad panda impression on Collateral Beauty is wall to wall. That's his entire acting performance, is him like knocking over dominoes and being like, see, this is a physical representation of my own sadness. He's like the swamp of sadness that kills Artax, and you hate the swamp of sadness for it.
Adam Sandler did a movie where he played basically the same character with Don Cheadle as the best friend 5 years ago or so. I can't remember what it's called, but it was exactly the same thing. And Adam Sandler did okay with it. Will Smith sucked. It was like, you don't just suck. You can't even pull off Adam Sandler level of acting right now. And I voted him well ahead of Ethan Hawke in my ballot, but ordinarily, I would have thought that when I first saw Collateral Beauty, I was like, he's walking away with this year's worst bad actor.
Right.
But then Tom Cruise was like, hello, I'm Tom Cruise. You're like,
hold my beer.
Ugh.
So, and then the last two that tied, because usually we don't have, this many people that get 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
Obviously. Was John Depp.
Yes.
From the Pirates movie.
Right. Which.
And Dane DeHaan from Valerian.
See, that's a hard split for me because John Depp is a running worst bad actor always on the SMABFAs. I think we've had 1 year where he didn't get nominated as well for worst bad actor. He swept for Mordecai, of course, his most famous shitty movie of all time.
Yes.
But Jack Sparrow really needs to die.
We're used to him, and we still don't like him.
We still don't like him, and he is especially despicable in this film because his jokes and his whole performance is jokes. There's no your big beef with the Pirates franchise is eventually they need to stop sword fighting. But he doesn't even manage to do that in this. He just pretends that he's drunk the entire time and tells dad jokes that suck.
He's not even really a part of the movie.
No.
It's like he put him in there, you're like, oh, it's John Depp. He's still here. And then he's just standing on the lot making jokes and they're filming it. It's
Right.
like, you're not even in this movie. It's not even about you.
Right. Yeah, he was awful. And then Dean DeHaan. Wow.
I actually thought, I laughed at Dane DeHaan. He sucked.
He sucked.
But it
so
was
bad.
Dane DeHaan was like this guy that really was badly cast.
Very bad cast. Yeah.
Had then decided, well, if I'm going to be tough, I may as well try my best Keanu Reeves. And comedy ensues.
Yeah, because you just can't take him seriously as a.
He's a little.
He's a piece of fettuccine, is what he is.
I know, but it's like, he's like, what am I doing in this? I'm like Tom Cruise's size. I shouldn't be in action movies. Hey-o!
I think Tom Cruise has got him by about 35 pounds.
Yeah, but
He's
they're
a
about
little guy.
He's taller.
Right.
At least he's at least 5'8" or something like that.
Yeah, it's just so sad. It was just such a bad cast, and I just don't. I think he tried, but that was the end of it for him. It
You
was
just
like,
couldn't take him seriously.
Yeah.
No.
Action man.
and his facial expressions and stuff. It's like you're just not a tough looking person.
No, you're precious.
No.
You're precious. You're just so
And
cute.
For being as slender as he isn't like super skinny. Like he almost had the comedy body.
Mhm.
He was like,
Right.
like had this been like a spring break movie, he was worth laughs.
Yes.
In like, put some zinc on his nose, shorts that are too short. I'm clapping. I'm like, this Dane DeHaan guy needs to be in every spring break movie.
And look, Bazan's like, that is Action Man.
Yeah, I think they would have been better off casting. And I mean, I know I'm probably going to get booed for this. Zac Efron.
Oh, sure.
He would have been.
That's fine. He's
Sure.
buff.
Yeah, he's buff. He was young enough
a
to play the
doofus.
role. Yeah, but he was young enough to play the role, and he's got bushy eyebrows or like
that
thick
helps.
eyebrows that could compete with hers.
Yeah.
And then they could have like serious eyebrow action sequences
Huh.
where they do like close-ups on their eyes, and it's like the eyebrows are winning the fight.
That's Luc Besson already made that movie. It was called Lucy, because that's about the plot of Lucy, basically, is eyebrow battle. Whatever the fuck that
and
thing
drugs.
was. Yeah, right. All right, that wraps up that category. Next up, Sam, you have got Best Bad Actor.
This is the one we like the most.
In the category of Best Bad Actor, we have Gerard Butler, Geostorm, Ice Cube, XXX, Return of Xander Cage, Idris Elba, The Dark Tower, Javier Bardem, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, Matt Damon, The Great Wall, Michael Fassbender, The Snowman, Russell Crowe, The Mummy, Sean Roberts, Resident Evil, The Final Chapter, Tom Cruise, The Mummy.
Who voted that asshole in for Best Bad Actor?
Vincent D'Onofrio, Rings. And the winner is Gerard Butler, Geostorm.
So you got my message.
Yeah, I got your message. It's worse than we thought. Whoever's doing this is using Dutch Boy to target cities. Yeah, they're disguising their moves as malfunctions. They already killed the man who found out about this, and I don't think they're done.
Yeah. This is my life's work, Max. Now, they said it was impossible, but we pulled it off, and it worked perfectly without fail, day after day, year after year. So what do people do with it? Turn it into a gun.
Yes!
Did Gerard Butler just get the turkey?
Yeah, yes, sort of. Because he tied
With himself.
with himself for Gods of Egypt and London Has Fallen.
He still got the win, though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Didn't
so
he
that's
win before that?
Technically one win. No, he didn't.
Oh.
I think
Yeah,
Russell Crowe won the year before that.
Russell Crowe tied himself, too.
Right. So, no, I mean, sort of, yes, he did get the turkey,
So
but
we
sort
still
of
look.
not.
We got Russell Crowe and Gerard Butler looking for the turkey.
Yeah. So what was the score on Gerard Butler?
He had a runaway, 18.
18 for Gerard Butler and Geostorm.
Wow.
And this guy, second place, Ice Cube, XXX, Reserve of Xander Cage. It's the only time I think anyone's ever liked Ice Cube in a movie.
It might be.
And you know why? Because he's only in it for 3 minutes.
That's correct.
That guy didn't even make my radar.
He just showed up and was all, I got a very poopy face. We're like, I can handle that for a little bit.
Right.
He's like, okay, I'll leave. And I was like, good job.
He also shoots a rocket launcher, which
does.
never hurts.
Never hurts, yes. 3 was Matt Damon, The Great Wall, tied with Michael Fassbender and The Snowman with 8 points each, followed in tail by Russell Crowe, The Mummy, as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
So we're going to start in reverse this time.
Sure.
Because I want to declare that the fan choice overwhelmingly was Russell Crowe in The Mummy.
I enjoyed his garbage acting. It was garbage and I liked it.
It's really bad. When he goes Hyde, oh boy.
It was the only part of The Mummy that wasn't please kill me. Like he starts doing that and you're like, oh, that's funny.
Look at that guy.
I don't want to die for a minute. And then he leaves and you're like, kill me now.
Jackie, who did you put as your number one? Oh, of course, Gerard Butler. I should have known that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a no-brainer. But my second one was Michael Fassbender for The Snowman.
Yeah, Fassbender got 4th, which I am very surprised.
It's actually tied for 3rd.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Tied for 3rd with Matt Damon.
See, and I really felt like he should have been up there.
Why?
At second place at least.
Why?
Because he did a really good drunk in the alley. When he's like laying there like,
It's 2
Yeah,
frames that takes place. That is not enough to give somebody best bad actor for laying in an alley for 10 seconds.
Not to mention that in the same movie, Val Kilmer, who couldn't bother to do his own callbacks for ADR, pissed off the side of a pier and almost fell down in the shot. So he got eclipsed by in that own act in that movie. So
yeah, I didn't see Fassbender at all in that. The Snowman was so nothing of any spectacularness in any degree other than wow, this movie sucks. I was very surprised that anybody even nominated Fassbender.
I was too. I didn't care about anything that happened. I nominated Kilmer because he showed up, looked like fucking hammered shit.
Right, which they put prosthetics on his face.
Yeah.
Old man prosthetics.
Then either did an amazing job masking his voice or someone had to come in and do his voice.
He refused to come back.
He refused to come back because
and
it
they
also
ADR'd.
It seems like they didn't even really get all of his shots that they needed from him.
No, he just disappears.
Because you are just like, here's Val Kilmer again, and he does things that don't make sense, and it finally culminates with him just going and pissing off the side of this rock. And then you never see him again, nor do you have any idea what he was even in the movie for.
Right. And then Matt Damon are really I was strong on Matt Damon when we went and saw The Great Wall. That was one of our funnest episodes for Bad Movie Field Trip we've ever had. I think you guys forgot how bad Matt Damon's Irish accent was that came
sometimes
and disappeared and like, what is he? Is it Irish? What is he trying to do? And then sometimes he's like, hey, it's me, Matt Damon. Like, what is this?
Yeah. Well, I will admit to riding the Ice Cube train the hardest.
Yeah.
I voted him top. I nominated him as well.
Yeah.
So
no votes for Vin Diesel, surprisingly, for being the lead in Xander Cage.
It was weird, I think, in that movie, because it's like this sort of circus of shit that's happening around him. He doesn't really stand out at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like the movie, everybody else in the movie sucks hard and is hilarious.
Right, he's basically just Dominic Toretto.
Yeah,
in this,
he's like the ground wire.
Right, we're used to his banana business at this point.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the big one, the winner, Gerard Butler, of course. Again, in Geostorm, talking out the side of his mouth as usual.
I would,
which I find to be very attractive.
I guess.
Sure. Some would say he was playing a much different character than he usually plays, but he didn't. He just played Gerard Butler again. He just only got to punch one guy.
Right.
That was disappointing.
He sort of killed a guy, sort of. which usually his body count is in the 50+ category.
Oh yeah,
But-
80's a nice
Right.
soft spot for him to land.
Which probably, if he had lined himself up again in the same year as, say, a Has Fallen movie, he probably wouldn't have done as well in Geostorm because of the low body count in that film.
Yeah.
So, but I still had a blast with him. I mean, the guy he isn't a good actor, I'm afraid. He's silly and he's goofy and you just can't take him seriously. But underneath all of that, like, you probably shouldn't have a career if you weren't so fucking goddamn charming.
That's the thing. He's charming. And charming goes a long way.
He is just like, he's charismatic throughout everything he does on screen, even if he's fumbling through his lines and delivering nonsense. You're like, God damn it, man.
He's got it in the eyes, as
Right.
Hitchcock would say. It doesn't really matter a lot of times. As long as they have it in the eyes, they're fine.
Right.
So this brings me back to something that I did today. I entered a contest to win a exotic vacation thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And it asked, who would you rather spend the day with? John Travolta or Bruce Willis? And I'm thinking, neither one of these dicks. I want to spend the day with Gerard Butler.
Right. Absolutely. No, like, my list would go probably, I'd take a combo of Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, and then right below them would be Gerard Butler.
Mm-hmm.
And at the bottom of my list would be John Travolta and Bruce Willis.
I would take Bruce Willis ahead of John Travolta.
Ah, that's what I said, too.
I don't know.
If by can you imagine an afternoon with John
Can you
Travolta?
imagine an afternoon with Bruce Willis?
At least he could tell jokes and he's not
He's
completely
an asshole.
nutso.
He is an asshole.
Yeah.
So,
I prefer nutso to asshole.
Yeah, so then after I answered these polls, right,
Mhm.
It does turn out that most people would rather spend the day with Bruce Willis. 77% of the votes were Bruce Willis.
You know, unfortunately, the people that enter those contests are probably going to, if we stacked up Bruce Willis or Gerard Butler, they're probably still going to take Bruce Willis. But the three of us, I know what we're taking, Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler.
Next up is my turn with Worst Bad Actress. The actress who did a bad job that we disliked the most.
Oh, there are a lot of contenders this year for me.
Yes, this is a big category. And the nominees are Dakota Johnson, 50 Shades Darker. Dame Helen Mirren for Collateral Beauty. Lady Kate Winslet? Isn't she
I don't know
something
if
as
she's
well?
anything.
I don't know. Okay.
She was in that same movie,
Yeah,
though.
Kate Winslet, Collateral Beauty. Keira Knightley, Collateral Beauty. Kim Basinger, 50 Shades Darker. We've had 5 nominees in 2 movies. Okay, here we go. Laura Haddock, Transformers The Last Night. Mia Jovovich, Resident Evil, The Final Chapter. Nina Dobrev, Triple X, Return of Xander Cage. Rihanna, Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets. And Sofia Boutella, The Mummy. And the winner is... Sofia Boutella, The Mummy!
Yes, she
Wow.
sucked it so hard.
The mummy has returned.
You wish to see what I haven't seen? You will when I kill you.
So what was her count? Because I didn't even vote for her.
It was close. This was one of our hottest contended by far. She had 11. Rihanna came in right underneath her with 9, and then Keira Knightley and Dame Helen Mirren tied at 7, followed by Kim Basinger with 6. So
Kim Basinger also was only in the movie for 3 minutes, but
right.
sucked that
Oh,
bad.
She was terrible.
I really enjoyed her performance.
She didn't do anything.
I did not think she deserved to be on that list.
Unless it said, and playing the wooden figurine, Kim Basinger. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, what a great performance as an inanimate object, Kim Basinger.
Oh, she was completely wooden. The fans agreed with us as well, Sofia Boutella for The Mummy, because fuck that character.
At least she's not an actress.
Like, if you, like, seriously, if we hadn't seen The Mummy and you cut out all of Sophia Boutelli and like did a supercut of just Tom Cruise's in the film, you'd be like, man, that's one of the worst acting performances I've ever seen. There's no way you could have two people who suck that bad. And she manages to suck as hard as Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah.
Her performance blew ass.
Well, the only other movie I saw her in this year was the one Atomic Blonde.
Okay, yeah.
She was in Atomic Blonde, and she did the same shitty job in that movie as well.
Yeah, she did. She is not... I understand that Hollywood is stupid as shit and has to cast models because they don't freaking eat anything.
No, it's because you want Harvey Weinstein grabbing the...
Right.
Like, here's some cocaine.
But she, A, can't act, and B, is pretty not hot, in my opinion.
She's attractive.
I do not agree.
Oh, no, she's hard to look at.
I think she is not good looking at all. And even if she was, her acting is enough to be ran out of town on rails. Like, you'll never work in this town again, lady! Not because you didn't give me a blowjob, but because you suck.
The blowjob!
Yeah, you are the blowjob!
You are the blowjob!
Wait, or am I the blowjob? I'm not sure, but get out of here!
Yeah.
Yeah, I am stoked that she won because I hated her so much.
Yeah, and all three, she had 2 number 1 votes. The fans all completely, overwhelmingly voted for her. So there's just no question.
Yeah.
But I know everybody's chomping at the bit to also discuss Rihanna's performance in Valerian.
Oh, is she number 2?
She was number 2 with 9.
It was not good.
It's cringeworthy.
I thought she was pretty good.
Oh.
I liked all the... Okay, so I just liked all the visual effects and stuff. But
that's not her acting.
Right.
But, when she died, that was kind of like Take That, Ben Kingsley.
Oh, it was Take That, Ben Kingsley worthy, yes, for sure.
Yes. And
it was laughable.
I was entertained by her. I do not think she should be on the crap list.
Oh, I completely
I
voted
thought
for
she
her.
was, yeah.
The character sucks. The effects suck. Everything sucks.
For the same reason that Ethan Hawke showed up. It was like, you just showed up, got a check, cost this movie way too much money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that whole scene with her and Ethan Hawke was just like, here's 40 fucking million on a scene that doesn't even really propel the plot at all.
The thing it propels the plot is it tells Valerian, hey, you're here, go here. It's that thing in the mall with the little arrow that says, here's where JCPenney is. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all those 2 characters provide. Go over there. And
Yeah.
it takes fucking forever and costly as shit. And dumb.
And they both sucked ass.
Right.
And they were both in the same scenes.
Right, absolutely. The heavies, Collateral Beauty. Now, this film, we have to talk about the acting in it because 4 out of 5 of the top 5 names are Academy Award-winning actors.
Or nominated,
at least nominated. And it's some of the worst acting as an ensemble I have ever absolutely seen. Keira Knightley and Kate Winslet and Dame Helen Mirren are just terrible.
It's as if the actors studio put together a what not to do video.
It's not even dinner theater bad. It's worse than
dinner theater is much better.
Right. I mean, they cannot get through a line without you going, really? Are we one taking this? What's going on with you Academy Award winning people?
I don't know.
I'm saying that they got duped. Like, oh, this is the script. And then they got there and like, so we had some rewrites.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, oh, I'm not giving this 100%. This is shit.
Or they ad-libbed everything and were like, that was dumb. It's like they came onto an episode of Staker Madness while we're just winging it because we got nothing to talk about and also tried to not deliver lines.
Well, I think more of the problem than poor delivery was over delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of it was, and I think that's really what happened is that whoever was directing it was like, look at this cast I have.
Right.
Everybody turn it to 11.
Right.
And they all did.
Right.
And you can't do that because it sucks.
Yeah, Kate Winslet especially, I recall her, she's always shocked by, like, she gets new information. She's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
that's some information.
In her credit, I thought she did better than everyone else in the movie.
Yeah, me too.
I did too. And now,
That's probably why she didn't make that list.
Yes.
I think all three of these female actors are top notch. I think Kate Winslet's one of the finest actresses that's ever lived. Keira Knightley can be 50-50, mostly because of the Pirates, but I have seen her do some great fucking work.
She's very good in the BBC Dr. Zhivago, which was and she was really young when she did that too.
Right. And obviously Dame Helen Mirren is
Helen Mirren.
She is who she is.
She's wonderful.
She's the female Ian McKellen.
I love her.
Yeah, she's rad, but I just don't know how you do this to these women.
I don't get it either. And they did it to Edward Norton too.
Yeah, Academy Award winning Edward
I thought
Norton.
he only got
nominee.
Yeah,
but
right. Either way, it's fucking Eddie Norton.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Way to fuck it up, Collateral Beauty. Next up, we're back to Sam with Best Bad Actress.
The nominees are Abby Cornish, Geostorm; Astrid Burgess Frisbee, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword; Britt Robertson, The Space Between Us; Deepika Padukone. Deepika Padukone. I think that's how you say it. Triple X, Return of Xander Cage; Ellen Page, Flatliners; Mila Jovovich, Resident Evil: The Final Chapter; Nina Dobrev, Return of Xander Cage; Octavia Spencer, The Shack; Rebecca Ferguson, The Snowman; Rihanna, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets; Tang Cheng, The Great Wall; and Toni Collette, Return of Xander Cage.
How many Xander Cage nominees is that?
3.
Yeah.
Nobody in that Xander Cage movie for women was worth a shit.
I thought that the one gal from Vampire Diaries was good.
We'll see what happens, Jackie.
and
Maybe there'll be some surprises.
And the winner is justice has been served. Abby Cornish, Geostorm.
All right, it's Sam. We're back in the clear with the four mates to 91.
Just gotta take care of a little problem first. Hold on.
Abby Cornish, Geostorm!
Not only was she the best bad actress, and she barely won, too. In my eyes, she had one of, this is the shining example of best bad actress for any of the movies we've done. We've had a rough time with best bad actress. I thought she was going to run away with this thing with the, hold on, turning the car around backwards and shooting everybody.
She's the female Mike Banning.
Yeah, in a movie with Mike Banning in it. And then is also mostly confused in half of her shots.
And we can't forget the excessive boobiness that they shot around with her.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just make sure that she's always squishing them together whenever we. Let's get some side boob in this shot.
Yeah.
What can we do to frame the camera around her chest while she's killing people?
I don't know if I would have done it differently.
Well, the fans agreed. Abby Cornish also won from the fan vote.
Yeah, her character was ridiculous. She
steals that movie.
She steals the show
away from Gerard Butler, in my opinion. If I had to vote between the two of them, I'm going to give it to Abby Cornish.
Absolutely, loved her, and she's also super hot. But that shouldn't weigh into it at all.
Unless the camera operates around her boobs. If she's on a boob steady cam. Because that's part of the performance the director has chosen to focus on that.
It's the motorboat cam.
All right, what's the rest of the list?
Second place was Chanjing, Great Wall. And I believe a tie with Mila Jovovich, Resident Evil, The Final Chapter.
What?
Wait, hold on. You're going to have to do that. Why do you say believe? because I put.
it says won the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, Chanjing, Great Wall won a tiebreaker against Mila Jovovich from Resident Evil.
Okay.
And then
I can't believe she even got on that list.
in a solid third place, Nina Dobrev from Vampire Diaries for Triple X Return of Xander Cage. She was hilarious. She was like
She
the
was pretty
secretary.
funny.
She was hilarious.
And then Ellen Page won a tiebreaker to get on this list, even though I am not sure why.
I'm not sure why either.
Yeah, I didn't vote for her for anything.
Yeah, Ellen Page was not enjoyable in the least for me.
I was going to write like a joke, but I couldn't write other jokes to work around it, so I'll just tell it by itself. Just because she made this, I was going to give a fake award, the General Electric Award for ensemble cast that could be replaced by a desk lamp, and it would be the cast of Flatliners, and the lamp doesn't even have to be turned on either.
No, it doesn't. So let's start from. We'll just cut out Ellen Page because I don't really fucking care.
Yeah, and then we just talked about her right then.
Right. Nina Dobrev, I thought was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
What was her other role that she was nominated for, or that we experienced her in?
She was in Flatliners too, and she sucked.
Yeah, she was awful in Flatliners.
And she's also in Vampire Diaries.
Oh, hey, again? Still? Really?
Yeah. She's a vampire. Spoiler.
She totally redeemed herself in Triple X as the nerdy secretary who is constantly bumbling and stumbling and afraid of getting shot and not knowing how guns work on the super elite Fast and Furious team, which I enjoyed that.
Yeah, she was fun.
Number 2 or number 3?
Number 3 was Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, what was your beef with what? Mila Jovovich is awesome.
She sucked.
She does not suck.
That's how she got on that other worst bad actress movie.
Yeah, you're the only one that thought that. What's her deal?
I just don't enjoy her acting. She's not tough enough.
I'm pretty sure that Mila Jovovich could actually punch through a wall.
Maybe. In fact, she might be sort of like the strong female character Carbon that we use to copy.
Well, she's basically Ellen Ripley, unfortunately.
That's true.
Not true at all.
She's only played that, though. Like,
she has.
There's not really Mila Jovovich movies where she just plays not ass kicker.
Right. And from what I understand, she does about 3/4 of the stunts in those Resident Evil movies. So I'm afraid that you are incorrect. She kicks ass.
Ugh, whatever. Did any fans vote for her?
I don't know. I only totally tally the top vote. So
I didn't vote Jovovich high here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care for her either way in this one. I think that I just may have been done with Resident Evil.
I might be done with Resident Evil 2, even though I really enjoyed all those films. But the final chapter.
I was happy that they got to make all of them, despite no one thinking any of them were good.
Right.
Nor they made some money, but it's like, really? You're just gonna keep spitting these out?
We got like 6 of them, huh? There's more movies than video games. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I enjoy them. And then,
of course,
Chanjing.
Yeah, Chanjing, Great Wall,
who was my number one, or Abby after Abby Cornish.
Yes.
I loved Chanjing.
I think I had her high as well. She was, God, that movie. Another year, and in another year, that would have been a winner.
Absolutely,
She could have been a winner, right?
Her princess, purple-colored flying ninja.
The Suicide Fishing Squad?
Suicide Fishing Squad that she belonged. Oh my God. And she's flying all over the place and looking at Matt Damon like, really? That's what you brought right now? And I'm supposed to be like a love interest with you?
Yep.
I thought she was another good ass kicker.
No.
A lot of ass kicking women got nominated this year. There's one that I want to especially mention in this list now. I did not vote for. I was really torn because it is awful. In the same way that Dean DeHaan is. Toni Collette as the villain in Xander Cage.
It was more sad than anything.
What an odd cast. No, Toni Collette's great. She is fantastic. Not in this film, but as an actress, she's fantastic. Why would you choose her to be your, like, the same character, essentially, as Charlize Theron in Fate of the Furious?
Sure.
I'm the evil Emperor Lord.
I don't know.
Toni Collette? Huh.
I don't know why you choose her. I don't know why she chose it.
Yeah.
I think budget and time were there, and they both went, okay.
Yeah, got nothing going on.
And she was fun. Like, that's when I was doing the nominees. We had to do nominations, and I was like, Abby Cornish. And then I was like, what the fuck else do I have to vote for here? And then there was Chanjing, and the 3 girls from Triple X was all I could come up with afterwards.
Yeah, lots of...
All 3 of them. 3 of the 4, because there's a 4th one in there that didn't make the grade.
Jackie, now, you did not put Abby Cornish as your number 1. Where were you on Best Bad Actress?
I voted for Astrid Burgess Frisbee.
Oh, okay.
King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. That was the one that I was going with.
I really liked that character. I really liked her.
I couldn't decide if she was, like, we were talking about what's-her-face from The Mummy being a model.
Uh-huh.
I don't know much about this person, if she's a model or if she is an actress.
Right.
What it seemed like to me is that she has a specific look that the director wanted, and then she didn't fuck it up.
Right.
So I had a hard time voting for her because I thought she actually did all right.
Yeah, I was in the same boat. Like, I really liked... I think she's supposed to be Merlin eventually in this
Like
fucking
Merlin's
series.
daughter or something.
Maybe, or maybe she's just a female Merlin. Because fuck it, why not? Why not have Merlin be a woman?
Yeah.
You know, fuck you guys if you're like, oh, Merlin has to be a man. No, fuck off.
King Arthur's a biker, so fuck you.
Yeah, right.
You.
Fuck you.
Fuck you!
I liked the fact that her way of doing magic was way over the top, like Gods of Egypt levels of magic when she summons shit. But, like, she doesn't go woo, 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 woo with her fingers and, like, wave a wand. She, like, goes into an epileptic seizure.
It hurts.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant experience for her to summon magic.
Yeah, I liked it.
And I liked that character a lot. I think that was my favorite part of that movie was her.
I think that she should have let King Arthur die.
I think as well.
No one likes Charlie Hunnam.
Right. Yeah, that was a hot field this year as well. The actresses, and very contentious votes all over the place. We had to break up a lot of tiebreakers with that one too. So, next up is you again, Sam, with the Mystery Science Theater 3000 Riffability Award for the film easiest to make fun of while enjoying it.
This was a deep field.
It was.
Usually we can only come up with like 2 or 3 each. This is the deepest field of movies that you can make fun of that we've had. Starting with 50 Shades Darker, Geostorm, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, Resident Evil, The Final Chapter, Rings, The Dark Tower, The Great Wall, The Mummy, The Snowman, and The Space Between Us. Apparently, if you title your movie starting with the word "the,"
right,
we will make fun of it.
The Geostorm.
Yeah. And the winner is... winning a tiebreaker, Geostorm, barely over the Great Wall.
Geostorm again.
Geostorm again.
Which I was very surprised about.
Super surprised about that one, because I thought that Geostorm sort of moved itself along that you didn't have to, even though you could.
There was so many fucking flaws with that film as far as its storytelling. But anyway,
sure.
Proceed.
Great Wall, 50 Shades Darker, won a tiebreaker against The Space Between Us and The Dark Tower. So I think the one that I actually had the most fun making fun of while we were watching it, because it would have been The Great Wall. But we were at the theater, you can't do that.
Right.
So the one that I actually got to make fun of, that I had the most fun doing, was The Space Between Us, but I was right there with 50 Shades. Like, you can really make fun of the 50 Shades movies.
If, like, man, if it wasn't for all the awkward sex scenes, God, those movies are riffable.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they're just so, like, prime for it. But then, unfortunately, you're just stuck there for 25 minutes watching completely boring and uninteresting sex scenes.
Yes.
Jackie, where were you?
I wanted the 50 Shades Darker to win this one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because it's just, it opens itself up to so many bad jokes.
Right.
And then I'm with Sam. My second vote was for The Space Between Us, because it was just like, yeah, okay.
Which not very many people know much about The Space Between Us, but it's essentially a what's that? Not The Notebook, but like the Fault in Our Stars type, a teenager film, basically. Like, hey, let's get the teenage love interest movie where a boy is born on Mars and then comes to Earth and finds love with his pen pal, essentially.
Yeah.
But he's extremely frail.
Right?
Because he's born on Mars, which
He's fragile.
I liked the whatever IMDb one sentence recap that you read right before we watched it, where the guy said, it's sort of like someone took Starman and turned it into a teenage weepy.
Right.
And then it was super easy to make fun of.
Yeah, I enjoyed the space between that. That was highly riffable as well, with some dumb action sequences.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a mover. It's not boring, and that's one of the things you have to have in your riffing is something that continues moving at all. It never stops.
Yeah.
But isn't so hot and heavy with dialogue that you have no opportunity. You're like, or confusing, like, what the fuck is going on in this? I'm trying to pay attention, not making fun of it. But all four of those top films I thought were excellent picks for that. I put Great Wall above Geostorm because
It's so dumb.
I remember us watching it and I was giggling the entire time, not just what was going on in the film, but what I couldn't tell you guys while we were watching the film in my head, like zing, 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 like all over the place. And then when we talked about that film and how dumb the plot was itself, that, hey, the number one solution to keep space monsters away from the rest of the world is build your wall and a ring around their home. Like, why didn't you fucking think of that, you idiots?
Yeah.
I had a great time with that film.
Well, it would have been half as big.
Yeah, right? Well, half, like a tenth.
Yeah.
The fans also agreed with us here again. Geostorm was the fan pick for highest riffability.
I'm surprised that Dark Tower made this list.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought
think,
it was kinda-
Martini Shark got involved in that too.
Sure. You could make fun of it.
Yeah,
It just wasn't, it moved a little slower.
Man, we'll get to. I got some hate mail about Dark Tower being in some of its nominations that we'll get to next week.
Sure.
But, Jackie, you're now up with one of our big two. The worst bad movie of 2017. The film that we absolutely enjoyed the least.
This is the biggest award for movies.
Yeah.
The biggest award for us is next, but this is the one.
Who made this?
It says, shame on you, Hollywood.
Right.
Collateral Beauty, 50 Shades Darker, Flatliners, Geostorm, Resident Evil, The Final Chapter, The Mummy, The Snowman, Transformers The Last Night, and Underworld, Blood Wars. And the winner is... Transformers The Last Night with 15 votes.
I am Bumblebee, your oldest friend. Optimus, I would lay down my life for you.
Bumblebee, your voice. I have not heard it since Cybertron fell. What have I done?
Huh.
Big upset.
Big upset.
Because it beat The Mummy, which was in second place, by 1 vote.
That's how close that was.
And as
I
much
was
as
shocked.
I wanted to be like, holy shit, this is outraged. That movie sucked really bad.
It sucks so bad.
That's a steal.
It is an upset.
It's
The Mummy
upset.
was by far the fan favorite. I mean, not the fan favorite because the fans also chose Transformers The Last Night.
It might be the truth then.
But if we had like one of those teenage kids that like makes predictions on the internet about the Oscars, but for us, the Mummy would have been the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mummy was the clear front runner going in. But what Transformers doesn't have is Russell Crowe amusing you for about 10 minutes.
True. Absolutely. Jackie, on the rest?
The third place was Collateral Beauty.
Yep.
Any other year.
Yep.
Any other year.
The Snowman was actually fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Very bad movie.
Any other year.
I liked the Snowman.
The Snowman was like 2 hours long. Nothing happens except Val Kilmer pees off a rock.
And it tells you that it makes the one mistake that you can't do in filmmaking. All of the events and places that you've just witnessed did not take place. The plot doesn't exist. All of this other shit surrounding the mystery of these dead people.
I didn't even
have
get
nothing to do with anything.
It was so atrocious. I didn't even notice the Monster Go-Go ending.
Right. Red herrings out the ass in that film. That movie sucks. Jackie?
And Underworld, Blood Wars.
Yeah.
Was at the bottom of that list.
Right.
And it only had 5 votes.
Yeah.
There had to be another one, and it was it. Because it wasn't very good.
No, it's in the same category I put as Transformers, because a film that did not need to exist does nothing in its accomplishments. I mean, like, absolutely nothing.
Sure.
Takes place and is painfully boring throughout and far too long.
With both Transformers and, I think, Underworld, they're markedly worse than every other film in their series.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is saying something for Transformers.
It's also saying something for Underworld.
Yeah.
They're not that good.
They're not that good.
And this one was more boring. Transformers was just a deplorable film.
It's awful. It is dumb. It doesn't make sense. All of the actions and characters, sequences, like their motivations are conflicting. I mean, just like anything you can do to write poorly is in Transformers. And on top of that, you've made an incredibly boring action film.
And the jokes weren't even good.
The jokes? Oh, yeah, because Michael Bay's known for his comedy, Jackie.
Well, they tried it. They tried.
He tries it every time.
And it just was like, no.
No, it sucks. Transformers sucks.
And that's the 5th one now, right?
I think so.
So,
Quit fucking watching them, you bunch of dicks.
Yeah, stop going.
There's only one left, and I'm beginning to think that Transformers isn't about Autobots versus Decepticons anymore. It's always like, here's some Autobots, here's some Decepticons, and then here's something else.
Right.
That's the majority of the conflict in the movie is what you're not here to see.
Right.
Fucking assholes.
I was shocked how bad it was, because honestly, like, there's so much hate for these films, right? With people
Sure.
that, and it's not just nostalgia. I was a huge Transformers fan when I was a kid. When I saw the first one, I was like, "Fuck you, assholes!"
Yeah.
I put that aside, and we watched the last one, whichever it was called,
dinosaur one.
Yeah, and we were like, honestly, it's not good, but this is just a meh.
It was
film.
meh.
Yeah. Then he comes back to this one, and you're like, holy balls. That sucked. This is a 2.
It's a 2. Yeah. I would have argued, anything else on that list, I'd be screaming at the top of my lungs had it beat The Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
But when I found out that one beat The Mummy, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought The Mummy was worse, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
That thing was shit.
Jackie, I think you put Transformers as your worst bad.
Oh, yeah. I hated that movie so much.
Yeah.
Because at least the last one, it had a dinosaur at the end.
Hey, man, we love the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, they have Transformer dinosaurs. The next one's going to be something with dinosaurs. And they're like, the Decepticons were only in it for like 2 minutes.
And they don't have any plot relevance at all.
No.
They contribute nothing.
And then some evil bullshit lady comes to town.
Uh-huh. Ooh, is what? Or who?
The creator.
But she's not. Like, all the establishment of that character that they set up at the beginning, who you're supposed to think she is, they end up going, no, she's not that. Then what the fuck is she? Why does this matter?
She's a brainwasher.
For what purpose? Like, it disqualifies its own film for the first 45, 50 minutes of it. It like said, nope, don't worry about that anymore. That's not a thing.
Oh.
Then why the fuck did I have to sit here and watch it, you fucks?
Other thing that the 4th one did. The 4th one was like over 3 hours long, but you didn't really notice.
It was long, but you weren't like, bah.
Whereas this one was barely over 2 hours, and it seemed like it was 7.5 hours long.
Me.
Yeah, my sandwich was more interesting. And when my sandwich was gone.
And your sandwich was just cold turkey and no mayonnaise.
Yeah. It was a health sandwich. And when that was gone, I was like, oh, fuck, there's still like 2 hours left of this movie.
Yeah. And I just don't get it, Jackie. The Snowman was atrociously bad.
I super liked it.
So boring.
I liked it.
So much nonsense and so much bad acting and so much like, who the fuck cares right now?
Sure.
It tries to be one of those like girl on the train or dragon tattoo or that one with Daniel Craig where he finds Stalin's son. A dark, gritty crime drama.
Sure.
Harry Bosch type stuff.
Yeah, why not?
And you're like, nope. None of this is good. Like, at no point are you on the edge of your seat. Like, I would rather read a John Grisham novel or watch The Firm than The Snowman at any point.
The only thing I remember about the movie is that Val Kilmer peed off a rock. Which gives it more than Transformers had.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Very good point, Sam. As we always say, it is better for a film to infuriate us than bore us.
Yes.
I was not bored. I liked it.
So there you go. Worst bad movie of the year, Transformers: The Last Night. Hopefully it will be Transformers: The Last Transformers, because I hope they pull the plug on the last one.
What, with all those open doors?
And I don't think Universal's smart enough to pull the plug on the Mummy and their franchise on that they're trying to establish to take on the mighty Marvel.
I don't know. Maybe if you're Universal, maybe you just let Tom Cruise, just hand him the rope to hang himself with, so you don't have to deal with his ass anymore.
Yeah, that'd be kind of nice.
Like, here you go. So hey, I got the number to Sony Pictures. I hear they gave Sandler a job. Sure. He's done a better job with his serious roles, but, maybe they'll give you a shot.
The big one. The
one for us and the one for the fans.
The one for the fans and the one for us. The best bad movie. The bad movie that we absolutely enjoyed the most and can't recommend enough. The nominees are Geostorm, King Arthur Legend of the Sword, Rings, The Dark Tower, The Great Wall, The Snowman, The Space Between Us, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets, and XXX, Return of Xander Cage. And the nominees.
Or again, I'll read them twice.
The winner is...
I think I'm the only person in the room that can open an envelope.
Yeah, I definitely can't.
La La Land!
What?
I mean Moonlight,
Warren
sorry.
Beatty.
All right, the best bad movie winner is Geostorm!
Oh.
The Senate committee will now hear from Jacob Lawson, Climate ISS Chief Coordinator. May the record reflect that he was nearly 1 hour late.
Yeah, sorry about that. I literally had to fly in from outer space.
Thanks to a system of satellites, natural disasters have become a thing of the past. We can control our weather.
Mr. President, one of our thermospheric satellites malfunctioned over Afghanistan.
So your proposal is what?
We shut down all satellites.
I don't need to remind all of you how many people died from catastrophic climate conditions.
Make sure there's no further incidents.
Are you going back up to space?
I'm coming back. I promise.
Have a safe trip, sir.
Just don't touch anything.
Main engine start.
This is Mr. Jake Lawson.
The Jake Lawson?
You look much older than I would have thought. I mean, you look good. Am I getting fired?
My access has been blocked.
So satellite has a bad comm, that happens.
Not a satellite. All of them.
This wasn't a malfunction. It was intentional.
There's potential for catastrophic weather events on a global scale.
A geostorm.
Clean sweep.
Yep. Won the tiebreaker against the Great Wall.
Wow.
Tied at 12 with the Great Wall. Won the tiebreaker. Great Wall number 2. Followed by Return of Xander Cage with 9. The Space Between Us with 8.
Really? What? That
And,
thing was amazingly fun for how what poorly conceived and made it was.
And Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets was 6. So, but the big one. Now, here's some fun information.
Sure.
This was a shocker. The fan #1 best bad movie of the year was Rings.
The People's Champion was Rings?
Rings.
That movie was so... Ugh.
We did not even put it in our top 5. I enjoyed Rings. Don't get me wrong. I
Sure.
thought it was hilarious. I thought it was also a really good riffer. But the fans thought it was the #1 bad movie of the year, Rings. But we contentiously fought over Geostorm versus Great Wall. I would take either winner. They're both fantastic. Sam, your thoughts?
I'm a little surprised. I thought Geostorm was going to get everything else and the Wall was going to get this one.
Yeah, the
Because
Wall didn't win anything.
The Wall didn't win anything, and it's one of the great comedic disasters of all time. I'm always going to love this movie for how funny it is and how funny it's not supposed to be.
Right.
One of the great accidental comedies in history, and it just couldn't poke its head over the top of Geostorm.
Right, which you kind of go into Geostorm, like everybody, I think, even the people involved kind of go into Geostorm knowing that they're shitting out a bad movie. Like, it's fine. It doesn't have a huge budget, but we're willing to take a chance on this picture. You know,
Everybody, actually, this is how it works. It's not any of that. It's that, who are we working for this month? Dean Devlin.
Right.
Ooh.
Right, exactly. Nobody's thinking that it's going to be an Oscar winner by any means.
Yeah.
People went into The Great Wall, the filmmakers, thinking that they were creating something special. This is going to be an epic.
It's going to change the way movies are made worldwide.
And it is deplorable.
It's the worst. It's what happens when you mix cottage cheese and dog food.
Yeah.
Dog doesn't even like it.
You're not getting filet mignon. And they thought they were making filet mignon.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So that's what put it over the top for me, is #1. Jackie?
I liked Geostorm because of the ending with Boobs McGee.
Yeah, Abby Cornish.
Yeah. And I was also kind of on the fence about this one because the Great Wall, the shish kebabs that were going down,
right.
the lady jumpers, it was just so beautiful. And then they started stabbing demons, and you were like,
and
yeah!
they're pulling back half bodies at certain points.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's beautiful, Jackie.
And then you're like, yes, oh my God.
Well,
just throw the spears. Gravity will work in your favor here. You don't have to attach women to them. I know that they don't mean much in your culture, but
I'm good with either one of those.
Yeah.
I think one movie that I'm kind of sad wasn't on there was The Shack.
The Shack as best bad movie. I'm sorry, Jackie. I know we watched it and it qualified. It got below a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, but there is a lot of God hate in those critics. Now, I'm an atheist completely. I think all of that shit is dumb as crap. The filmmaking and the storytelling in The Shack honestly isn't that bad.
it's not that bad.
I really liked it.
Right,
Yeah,
which disqualifies it from being a bad movie. You can't make it the best bad movie because it's just not that bad of a movie.
No,
Yeah,
if
well-
you replace Sam Worthington, I think you might have a good movie.
Right, and also don't have Sam Worthington and Jesus Run on Water because it looks fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I thought that was great.
It's the laugh
That wasn't
out loud
it.
moment.
That wasn't good
Right.
at all.
But it's just not that bad of a movie.
No.
It's just
Yeah.
it's got some really good, nice morals in it, and
I guess-
I think it's just lumped in with all the other Christian shit, Noah and Saving Christmas that's been at the theater. In the
yeah,
last
it
few
definitely
years.
felt some collateral hate.
Yeah.
When it shouldn't have, and it was really just. At the same time, I think though the audience for the movie was still found with it for the most part. I think that the tragedy is there's a lot more people that probably should watch it.
Right.
A lot of people that are telling other people their business.
Right.
Maybe we need to go watch The Shack. Don't pay attention so much to the Sam Worthington.
Yeah.
He's not very good.
Sometimes his accent's there, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
I could have nominated him for best bad actor as well, but that field was too deep for him.
Deep.
Yeah.
Well, I guess what I really wanted to say was that I wanted to bring that up as an honorable mention because Although it was,
it qualified. For being eligible.
But I agree with both of you that I did not think that it was a terrible movie.
No.
And
I don't think it's a good movie, but
it's very.
It's middle of the road. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
But versus other movies, at least it has an audience. It has a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched it because by mandate, but it didn't belong here.
It did not.
No.
Absolutely agree. Bad job, Metacritic.
Bad
and,
job.
Rotten Tomatoes people. Not all Christian movies have to be automatically put at the same level as Noah unless they are Noah.
Unless they have Lord of the Rings battles in them.
Right.
Yeah, that's
right.
And naked planking.
Return of Xander Cage got a lot of nominations this year. It was all over the place, but it's surprising. Again, any other year, I think XXX Return to Xander Cage could have been topped.
Show up on the list, did it?
No, it's got number 3.
Number 3. Yeah, that was my top vote.
Yeah, I enjoyed the shit out of that. And the leap and bound they made from State of the Union, XXX State of the Union, which is arguably unviewable.
It is unviewable.
To XXX Return of Xander Cage. Whew, that is a flip-flop. Now, Return of Xander Cage is arguably more stupid than State of the Union. There is some really dumb stuff that happens. It's dumber than the Fast movies by far.
Absolutely.
But wow, is it fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Any other year?
Any other year.
I didn't care for it that much.
Really?
Yeah, that's probably where it didn't do good.
Well, I don't think it could have taken down Geostorm or Great Wall, but pretty close.
It's pretty close.
Now,
I think one of the things that Geostorm has is this incredible X factor where it never tells you what a geostorm is or the consequences of a geostorm.
There is no geostorms that appear in Geostorm.
Are there no geostorms, but there is not even an explanation as to what one is or might be.
They have a clock that counts down to 1.
Yeah.
But there isn't any.
What happens if the geostorm happens? Oh, fuck, I don't know, but it's going to be bad.
This clock is going to blink 4 zeros repeatedly.
Holy
shit, man.
Remember Y2K? Going to make this look like a goddamn picnic or the other way around.
Remember that time I burnt the popcorn in the microwave? Fucking shit, man.
Fucking shit. We're just counting on Gerard Butler to shut that thing down up there.
Hit it when there's 30 seconds left, Gerard.
Yeah.
You know what? That popcorn burnt. Yeah. Well, there's your show, guys. Another fantastic year. I think we had more fun with the bad movies this year, even though there was a lot of them, and there was some real shit that we had to wade through. I think in general, the field was more fun. It seemed like we got through them all easier, 18 than last year, where we struggled in a couple.
Our horror movies weren't as bad.
Right.
We didn't have what was that one?
The Gallows.
Yeah. That was so shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, our big horror movie was basically Rings. Now, I have heard that Jigsaw and Bye Bye Man are real bad, but both of them scored above 20, so
Jigsaw was like in the mid-40s.
Yeah, right, but I've heard it's shitty.
Yeah.
And then Bye Bye Man got a 23, so it was just outside of being automatically eligible. And we avoid the horror movies like the plague.
Yes.
I don't.
Well, if it's the Gallows level, then you do.
Oh, it was that? The Bye Bye Man, was it supposed to be the Gallows level?
It's supposed to be real bad. Ugh. But Rings was, I thought, I thought it was fun.
It was all right.
I enjoyed the take on this Rings much more than I have.
And D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
D'Onofrio.
Woof. And the fan vote of the year.
Yeah, the people's champion.
Yeah, Rings. So, excellent year, excellent SMABFAs. Tune in next week. Oh, let me back that up. I know that there's probably some people that disagree with the way things shook out this year, or want to reinforce their thoughts and get their thoughts out there about who won and who shouldn't have, or whatever.
Dirty cocksucker for saying that The Dark Tower is a bad movie.
Or call the fans a dirty cocksucker for not putting Great Wall number 1. Whatever you want to do. email us, talk@StinkerMadness, and let us know your thoughts on the 2017 SMABFAs.
They can also call and leave voicemail.
They can. Go to StinkerMadness.com and click the phone icon, and it will automatically call us and go straight to voicemail where you can leave a message. And if it's smart and qualifying enough?
Smart and qualifying
I don't know
enough.
if that's the right word.
We'll put you on the moon.
Or at least one of those spinny machines that make
Sure.
people that aren't good enough to be astronauts throw up. Do that and let us know, please. By all means, we do want to hear from you guys about this stuff. So.
You can send us your tweets. Be like, "That's Stinker Madness. Did you get my tweets?" And we'll be like, "Yeah, shut up already."
Next week, we've got a big episode coming up. It's our fan pick from our good friend of the show, Jack B., who qualified to have 2 movies picked by him for reaching the appropriate level by donating to our patreon.com fundraiser. So stay tuned for that. He's got a secret surprise coming for us.
Secret surprise?
What?
Yeah.
Be kind, Jack B. Remember, Valentine's Day is coming up. Single Awareness Day.
So come back to us next time and enjoy your week and get to the chopper.
Happy Valentine's Day!
Not so much. Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter @Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening and get to the chopper. The nominees are...
Sam's dying.
Is not a nominee.
Tom Cruise was choking me.
Yeah.
I won at wrestling, though, so now I have to have sex with him. I said no. That's not how I remember wrestling being, Tom Cruise.
We're back at the Golden Globes, and now welcome Golden Globe winner Helen Mirren, and from London had fallen Gerard Butler.
Sit down, you naughty people.
Good evening, everyone. And Helen, I have to say, you look absolutely lovely tonight.
Thank you, Gerard. Thank you very much. So do you, for your age.
We're here to present Best Foreign Language Film, and for those of you who don't watch foreign films...
Well, you know, you can also read them. They have subtitles at the bottom, you know.
Oh, well, yeah, that leaves me out then.
You know, they're just like American films. They just have more sex, more nudity, less explosions.
I like explosions.
Later on, Gerard, later on.